I'm a contemporary artist with a bit of an unexpected background. I was in my 20s before I ever went to an art museum. I grew up in the middle of nowhere on a dirt road in rural Arkansas, an hour from the nearest movie theater. And I think it was a great place to grow up as an artist because I grew up around quirky, colorful characters who were great at making with their hands. And my childhood is more hick than I could ever possibly relate to you, and also more intellectual than you would ever expect. For instance, me and my sister, when we were little, we would compete to see who could eat the most squirrel brains. And, on the other side of that, though, we were big readers in our house, and if the TV was on, we were watching a documentary. And my dad is the most voracious reader I know. He can read a novel or two a day, but when I was little, I remember he would kill flies in our house with my BB gun. And what was so amazing to me about that, well, he would be in his recliner, would holler for me to fetch the BB gun, and I'd go get it. And what was amazing to me wasn't, well, it was pretty kick-ass. He was killing a fly in the house with a gun. But what was so amazing to me was that he knew just enough how to pump it, and he could shoot it for, like 2 rooms away and not damage what was on because he knew how to pump it just enough to kill the fly and not damage what it was landed on. So I should talk about art. Or we'll be here all day with my childhood stories. I love contemporary art, but I'm often really frustrated with the contemporary art world and the contemporary art scene. A few years ago, I spent months in Europe to see the major international art exhibitions that have the pulse of what is supposed to be going on in the art world. And I was struck by going to so many one after the other, kind of with some clarity of what it was that I was longing for. And I was longing for several things that I wasn't getting or not getting enough of. But 2 of the main things. One of it, I was longing for more work that was appealing to a broad public, that was accessible. And the second thing that I was longing for was more exquisite craftsmanship and technique. So I started thinking and listing what all it was that I thought would make a perfect biennial. So I decided I'm going to start my own biennial. I'm going to organize it and direct it and get it going in the world. So I thought, okay, I have to have some criteria of how to choose work. So amongst all the criteria I have, there's kind of 2 main things. One of them I call my Mimos test. And what that is I imagine explaining a work of art to my grandmother in 5 minutes. And if I can't explain it in 5 minutes, then it's too obtuse or esoteric, and it hasn't been refined enough yet. It needs to be worked on until it can speak fluently. And then my other second set of rules, I hate to say rules because it's art, or my criteria would be the 3 H's, which is head, heart, and hand. And great art would have head, it would have interesting intellectual ideas and concepts. It would have heart in that it would have passion and heart and soul. And it would have hand in that it would be greatly crafted. So I started thinking about, okay, how am I going to do this biennial? How am I going to travel the world and find these artists? And then I realized one day, there's an easier solution to this. I'm just going to make